tell me.
You gotta understand. Number one, I had been out there. It had to be an hour.
Talking about
it had to be an hour or longer.
So what happened in the initial stop? Like, okay, so
he stopped me. He said I was speeding. Okay, fine. Write me my speeding ticket. I give him my license, and he says, Miss Dixon. I knew then, oh gosh, it's over with for me. So I'm like, let me just be compliant. So he was like, step out the car so we can talk. I was like, whoa, why do I need to get out for us to talk? And he was just like, ma'am, get out the car. And I'm like, why? He was like, ma'am, get out the car. Okay, got out the car. He was like, matter of fact, just stand in front of my car. So I stand in front of his car. He gets back in his car. So he gets in his car. He has my license. So he gets in his car. So I'm standing there, still standing there. So it's like 10 minutes go by. And I start to see people like recording. So he gets out. And I don't even remember what he says to me, but I'm like, you know what? I feel like you're harassing me at this point. Can you please just call your captain? Yeah. And he was like, I ain't calling no goddamn body. So I was like, well, whoa. What? So he gets back in his car. So I'm like, okay, y'all still recording. Like, you know, all these men out here recording. So can somebody call 911? Right. Let them know. Like, he just got me standing out here. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, why am I with my back turned? Like, why? Like, are you gonna hit me? Like, what are you gonna do?
Right, and it doesn't take 10 minutes to pull your information. So, it comes back in a couple of minutes.
Well, my feet were hurting. Right. So I bent over. I took my heels off, and put them in my trunk, and I'm still waiting. Right. So he comes back. He was like, "You got a ticket for speeding, fine." And then he gives me my license, and he gives me the ticket. Right. And then he says, if you drive off, he was like, you're going to jail. I'm like, for what? And he was like I said, if you drive off, you're going to jail.
But
so
he was
I'm
done,
like,
right?
Yeah, you gave me my license.
Yeah, you're done. So what am I saying?
So it goes from there to, ma'am, I smell alcohol. I said, so conveniently you smell alcohol.
Are you kidding me?
Then he says, oh, so you'll take a sobriety test. I'm like, no, you're harassing me at this point. And he was like, oh, so you won't take one? I'm like, no. And he was like, have you been drinking? I said, I'm going to keep it real. I had 3 shots. And he was like, a what? A Grand Marnier. He was like, okay, get back in my car. I pull around. I didn't even leave the gas station. Yeah. I pulled to the pump. I'm like, I have to use the bathroom. So I pulled around and used the bathroom. I pulled around. And before I knew it, he back at my window, banging on the window like, get out the car, you're going to jail. I was like, what am I going for? So he was like, you're going for obstructing an officer. So he done opened my door. I said, but I didn't obstruct you. I didn't touch you. He said, stop resisting, stop resisting. And I'm like, sir, I let down my windows. I put my arms out. I said, I'm not resisting. I'm like, I didn't even do anything. Like, why are you harassing me? So I'm frustrated at this point. In the video, you can see, like, I'm pissed. Yeah. So I'm calling my lawyer, left him a message, let him know what was going on. I called my homeboy that I was with, like, hey, can you come up here? These people, what pissed me off the most is all these people recording. No one called 911 to try to help me in that situation. They
Nobody?
No. So then I called 911, and the operator was asking me what's going on, and he was like, get off the phone, put down the phone. He gets on his walkie-talkie, he calls for backup, and says some type of code, and then here come more police everywhere.
So this is the Georgia State Trooper, and then he calls for backup from the city of
backup. Yes. You call for backup because I called 911. Yeah. And so then that's when they made me put my phone down. I'm just trying to get somebody to come out here. I asked you to call your captain, what I said in the video. Yeah. What's so hard about that? If you're doing everything you're supposed to do, call your captain. Why are you messing with me? You couldn't tell me why I was going to jail. And you never read me my rights. So it's like you really was just harassing me the whole time. Like, it's like you was looking for a reason. It was like, I'm going to lock her up. I need a reason to lock her up. Right. And what's crazy, when you took me to the jail, they was telling him he didn't do something right. Like, we can't take her. So he was trying to fix whatever he did.
Really? Yes. To keep you there?
Yes. And then another cop was like, well, whatever he was trying to do, like, oh, it's not going to stick. And he was like, I'll make it stick. So it's kind of like you just harassing me.
Yeah, probably because it was like, to me, and I looked at the video, it seemed like a little power trip. And you had about, how many, like 5 officers on one female.
They all was yanking me by my left arm. That's what pissed me off. I said, so all of y'all are going to drag me. It takes 5 men to try to pull me out my car. I'm going to get out my car. But why are y'all got to try to drag me like this? And you couldn't see, he had already put the handcuffs on one of my arms. So he was already pulling it. And then they were on my arm, like, trying to pull me out the car. And I'm like, I'll get out the car.
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
All that was so unnecessary.
And you were by yourself?
By myself. That's why he did all that. I was by myself.
Oh, my goodness.
So, to whoever he is, I apologize for who picked on him in school. I don't know if I look like that girl or that boy. But whoever picked on you in school, I apologize for whatever you went through. I didn't do it to you. You could just tell it was a power trip. And he was going through something. Then on the way to jail, you want to ask me questions and try to hold a conversation with me. You're not my friend. Were you having a bad night, Miss Dixon? Is everything okay, Miss Dixon?
Are you
like, don't talk to me.
Wow.
And then gonna say, if you would have told me that you were just pulling to the pump, I wouldn't have took you to jail. So I'm supposed to sit until you give me permission to leave?
Wow.
Like, come on.
Crazy. So did they arrested you? They said they arrested you, then they cited you and let you go. But all of that for a speeding ticket?
Look, I walked in the jail and walked out. They was like, what? And they was like, okay. They was so nice. All the correctional officers in there was so nice. They was like, you gonna leave, Miss Dixon. Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
And one of them was just like, you know what? They're trying to meet quota. So just understand that it's nothing against you, but they are trying to meet quota. And I was like, it's cool, but it was just so unnecessary, you know?
Yeah. Are you thinking about like maybe filing a lawsuit or something like that?
I can't speak on all that. My lawyer's on it. So.
Okay,